Okay. I am Clint Franklin, a grateful alcoholic. On a morning in the mid-1970s, I went to the AA Intergroup office on East Boulevard to seek help. I asked the lady there for help in finding a job and a place to live. She suggested that I go to Charlotte Treatment Center. As I walked outside, and I noticed across the street a church that I had never seen before there, even though I'd been on the street many times. And at that moment, a car drove into the back parking lot. A man got out, went and unlocked the door to the church office and went in. And I knew this had to be the minister of the church. So I walked across, went in, introduced myself, and explained my problem. I asked if he could help me get to the treatment center. This was the most kind, caring, and compassionate man I have ever met. He said that he would be happy to do so, and he drove me out there. There I met Bonnie Knowles, a kind and understanding lady who was the director of nurses. She listened to me. She decided to give me a chance and hired me, and I went to work that very night. I know now that God put these two people in my life that day for a reason. The minister then took me to the apartment that I had to be out of that day, helped me get my clothes and a few things together, and took me back to the treatment center, where he helped me into the room that I had been assigned, helped me get things straight, carried me to lunch, and sat with me for several hours that afternoon. As he left, I thought, with a minister like this has to be a very special church. In leaving, he invited me to church on Sunday, and I agreed to be there. I went that Sunday, and I was so impressed with the service. And when I left, I knew that I would be coming back, and this church would be a part of my life. I often felt that I fell in love with this church before I even attended a service here. I joined the church, and before long I was appointed a deacon. I have served as deacons, elders, served on committees and all throughout the years. And having worked and living at the center, I was asked to drive patients who wanted to go to church, to the church up there, up here with the church van. I did that for a long time, and it was always filled with people who wanted to come to church here, and they especially liked this church. Others heard them talking and wanted to come, and there was no room in the van. So AA members volunteered to come by in their cars and pick them up and bring them to this church. That went on for quite a while. I knew that this church, I felt that this church would be a part of my life forever. But in 1991, I retired from the job that I was on and moved away. In 2000, I returned to Charlotte. And one of the first things I did was come to here to the church. And I found this church to be moving ahead in a very positive way. God had blessed it with many devoted church members, many church people who had become members and were very active. It had also blessed us, the church, with a devoted pastor, and that pastor continues to serve the church and to lead each of us in a way that God would have us to go. This church means everything to me. And on a trip that a group of us took to Montreal, we had the pleasure of attending a very famous cathedral there, going there. And while we were being carried to the cathedral, different things and different facts about it being told to us, the person next to me said, "This is the most beautiful and holy place that I have ever been in." My thought was, it certainly is beautiful, but the most holy place I've ever been in was the First Christian Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I meant what I said that day, and I still mean it till this day. Thank you so much.